It has just gone 3 minutes past the hour of 8. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8. Brought to you by Eswatini TV. My name is Sanabo Ngwana alongside Makamiso Ngambule. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studios in Mbabane, and your top stories at 8. His Majesty King Eswatini III has extended appreciation to the President of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, and the people of Taiwan for Taiwan's contribution towards economic recovery initiatives that the Kingdom of Eswatini has undertaken. The Minister for Tourism and Environmental Affairs calls for everyone to play a role in the fight against climate change. And the Acting Minister for Natural Resources and Energy has officially handed over the completed Mbolonjeni potable water supply and sanitation scheme. And now the news in detail. His Majesty King Eswatini III has extended appreciation to the President of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, and the people of Taiwan for Taiwan's contribution towards economic recovery initiatives that the Kingdom of Eswatini has undertaken. His Majesty the King was speaking during a ceremony that was held officially to welcome him in Taiwan. His Majesty King Eswatini III is accompanied by Ngosigati Magala in his state visit to Taiwan.
A full military honors greeted His Majesty the King when he arrived at the presidential office, accompanied by Inkosigati Magala Mashwama and their Royal Highnesses Bantwa Benkosi. His Majesty and the President inspected the honor guard before delivering remarks that became a clear reflection of vibrant relations between Taiwan and her last remaining ally in Africa. The King and the President exchanged views on international affairs, the current state and future outlook of relations between the two nations, and initiatives for strengthening bilateral cooperation. His Majesty hailed Taiwan's contribution towards Eswatini's economic recovery initiatives.
The Kingdom is in the process of recovery from various social challenges. We are grateful to Taiwan for her support towards our economic recovery initiatives in areas of manufacturing, ICT, agriculture, tourism, and the Reconstruction Fund will add the required impetus in this initiative. This recovery will help us to take advantage of trade opportunities, such as the markets offered by the African Continental Free Trade Area. We invite Taiwanese investors to set up shop in the Kingdom, which is well located to serve as a hub for access to the regional and continental markets. The trade protocol signed between our two countries also serve to expand the markets for our business community.
His Majesty says the Taiwan-Eswatini Cooperation Agreement has yielded bountiful results.
The Kingdom continues to value the contribution being made by Taiwan towards the development of Eswatini under the Cooperation Agreement for 2018-2022. This has seen the Kingdom make strides in the areas of rural electrification, agriculture, water and sanitation facilities in rural communities, support for smallholder dairy producers, strengthening cancer diagnosis and treatment in the country's health facilities. We are grateful for your contribution towards the rehabilitation of the Mbabane Government Hospital. This project has added the much-needed support to our health sector. We have also benefited from medical expertise from Taiwan and in the ICT sector through the Science and Technology Park at Nogwane.
The King says education cooperation between the two nations has afforded Emaswati who are pursuing their studies in Taiwan attachment opportunities in big industries.
It's displeasing to learn that a number of Maswati continue to benefit from the academic cooperation program. The investment in our human resource development is well appreciated, and it will go a long way in moving us closer to our goal of education for all. We welcome the recent development where Taiwan is giving opportunities to our graduates who complete their education here. The attachment to some of the industries in order to gain experience which they can take back home and contribute to the economic development of the country is invaluable.
His Majesty thanked Taiwan for extending assistance to Eswatini during the COVID-19 crisis, and he gave investors an assurance of Eswatini's business environment and further expressed gratitude for Taiwanese assistance towards national events and cultural ceremonies. President Tsai Ing-wen thanked His Majesty the King for adding his voice towards calls for Taiwan's inclusion in the United Nations system. The president recalled her visit to Eswatini in 2018, where she met Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi and discussed job creation initiatives for women in the Kingdom of Eswatini. His Majesty the King and the President also witnessed the inking of bilateral economic agreements. Taiwan reiterated its commitment to actively assist the Kingdom of Eswatini in constructing a strategic oil reserve. In Taipei City, I am Sandile Makanya for Eswatini TV News.
The Minister for Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, today visited communities under the Matsanjeni South constituency, where they toured various agriculture projects led by the community members. Mabuza says they are commemorating the World Food Day by appreciating the great efforts made by Maswati, or Eswatini rather, in communities to ensure food security. Mabuza also commended the high levels of agriculture participation in Matsanjeni despite the high temperatures in the area.
While touring the various projects here at Matsanjeni South in Ngondla, we saw various livelihood projects. That is your vegetable gardens, indigenous poultry projects, and diversified enterprises that the people of this constituency use to survive the conditions that would bring about extreme poverty and malnutrition as a result of food and nutrition insecurity. We also observed that even the youth of the area are partaking in agriculture projects, and that was really commendable. As a ministry, we need the youth to take an active role in agriculture because of the many opportunities that are available rather than depending in paid employment in the city.
Mabuza emphasized the need to take care of the environment at the center of everything in agriculture. He says the achievement of food security, sustainable and better life will only be realized with the recognition of the important responsibility of protecting the environment for its sustainability. Sifiso Ngumalo with Vumingosi Nzinisa for Eswatini TV News, Matsanjeni South.
The Acting Minister for Natural Resources and Energy, Jabulani Mabuza, has officially handed over the completed Mbolonjeni potable water supply and sanitation scheme. Mabuza says the water and sanitation and hygiene subsector continues to demonstrate effective collaboration amongst its partners. He praised the cooperation amongst his ministry and the Tingundla Administration and Development Ministry with the Ministry of Health as well as the Eswatini Water Services Corporation and Well Vision, who all contributed funds in realizing the implementation of the project.
This project serves approximately 3,230 homesteads, that is 25,000 people from 6 chiefdoms under Mbolonjeni in Ngondla. Water for this scheme is sourced from Mbuluzi River via the Simunye wastewater treatment plant. The water quality of the scheme has been tested from the accredited laboratory of the Eswatini Water Services Corporation and deemed fit for human consumption. It also covers about 18 schools, 53 churches, Bolonjeni Ingundla, Bolonjeni Police Post, and Bolonjeni Well Vision offices.
The government of Eswatini has made it a priority to provide clean water and adequate sanitation for all, as stated in the National Development Strategy. This is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which seeks to achieve access to clean water and safe sanitation for all by 2030. For Eswatini TV News, Sifiso Ngumalo with Vuminko Sinzinisa and Tembelihle Magujwa, Mbolonjeni.
The effects of climate change compel everyone to play their role in protecting the environment. The Minister for Environmental Affairs, Moses Vilagati, reiterated these sentiments when touring the Ngonjwa Donga Rehabilitation and Restoration Project at Stabelin on Friday. This is a 300,000 Malangeni project that was funded by World Vision and implemented by the Eswatini Environmental Authority at Ngonjwa following concerning dongas that put the lives of the people and livestock at risk.
Kungileminye yale misebenzi litiko letemvelo leliwendako kokuthi liye emimangweni likwati kubambisana nemimango kokuthi tindonga tingavalwa kanjani.
This is one of many projects that the Environmental Affairs Ministry is doing to help communities to make sure that the environment is protected at all times, in particular donga rehabilitation and restoration.
I-World Vision ibe ngiyo lehamba embili kulo msebenzi ngoba nasesibuka lolu donga kufuneke imali enganga 300,000.
I would like to thank the World Vision organization that funded the project with 300,000 emalangeni.
Kungako babe sebafaka bahlanyela netihlahla tetithelo bese bakhe ngisho inhlangano lekuyona letawubuka ukuthi letithelo batatisebenzisa kanjani bativune bakwati ukuthi bathengise bathola imali.
What I liked about this project is the fact that the community has planted fruit trees around the donga, and they are working around making sure that they commercialize the fruits that will grow from these trees. The Environmental Affairs Minister Moses Vilagati then visited Ngonjwa High School, where he praised the school teachers as well as the pupils for keeping the school clean. For Eswatini TV News, Sifiso Ngumalo with Vuminkosi Nzinisa and Tembelihle Magujwa, Ngonjwa.
Eswatini Television Authority Acting CEO Andreas Lamini says broadcasters are also mandated at improving cultural exchanges. The CEO was speaking during a visit by the Cultural Switch reality show director at the Eswatini Television Authority on Friday.
In preparations of the SADC TV channel, the Southern African Broadcasting Association SABA is working on a reality family show called Cultural Switch, where opposite cultures, nationalities, and traditions are at play. The switch is between two family members in two different countries who for a few days live in each other's lives. The director of the show, Alberto Botleo, is in the Kingdom of Eswatini visiting the editing team of the show from the Eswatini Television Authority. Eswatini TV Acting CEO Andreas Lamini says cultural exchanges are also a mandate of broadcasters.
It becomes a cultural exchange where we showcase our life as a people, our way of doing things, our events that we, our special events that we have, the geographical relief of the country.
Cultural Switch Director Alberto Botleo says the show is also aimed at promoting tourism.
It's also an open door so that we can share cultural symbols, elements, experience in how we can learn from each other, how we can be the same but also different.
The first episode of the show will be showed at the Broadcasting and Media Convention Africa next week in Rwanda. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Siwekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini. Babane.
His Majesty's Correctional Services Commissioner General Pindile Dlamini says the shocking incident that occurred during the wee hours of Thursday, when an alleged officer of the institution with 3 other men attacked Mbaban facility and kidnapped an officer and his rifle, should not be done by officers of the institution, as they are expected to protect the country and inmates. Dlamini says officers should remember their oaths.
Sithanza kulilela dihlobo nemndeni waMike Mthethwa kanye nabo bonke labasebenza ngaphansi kwalomnyango.
We send condolences to relatives and family members of Mike Mthethwa, as well as all officers of His Majesty's Correctional Services. The institution is shocked by the incident, as it had hoped that Mthethwa was going to play a huge role in growing His Majesty's Correctional Services. We would also like to send words of comfort to the Tfumbatse family, whose property was damaged. As the facility, we understand that the nation is faced with challenges, so I encourage officers and security officers to remain courageous and continue to protect the nation.
The National Commissioner of Police, William Dlamini, says the country has lost greatly in the passing on of 2 police officers who were shot and killed while on duty on Tuesday in Manzini. Dlamini says Dlamini was speaking during a memorial service of the 2 officers on Friday, where he was represented by the Deputy National Commissioner, Mandla Mdluli.
Following the shooting of 2 police officers, Constable Sifiso Mthembu and Constable Menzies Boy Dlamini, while on duty earlier this week in Manzini, the Royal Eswatini Police Service, relatives, friends and Emaswati held a memorial service of these 2. Speaking during the memorial service, National Commissioner of Police William Dlamini, who was represented by the Deputy National Commissioner Mandla Mdluli, forwarded condolences to their majesties as well as the affected families.
Ngikhalele ngililele emakhosi nelive emakhosi kuyawa disturb into lenjengalena ngokulahleka kwabantwana lengibona abahlala nabo lengibona baphila nabo lengibona babathuma konke labakwendako bakwenda ngabo ayakhathatheka nawo ukuthi nangabe sekulahleka bona sebobani phela batawusala bahlala nabo babathuma.
Speaking on behalf of the 2 families, relatives of the 2 officers shared how broken the families are with the passing of the 2.
Menzi bese kungena babe kungokonke kithi angathi nethi ngingathini
kulophethe emaphoyisa kuthi babe sikuvela buhlungu ngoba uyawubeka ema-applications ukhanze andanda order bantwana sebafisa ukubalekela ngenxa yesimo lesendekako.
The National Commissioner of Police further appealed to Emaswati to stop this painful doing. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgal Swekoza with visuals from the Royal Eswatini Police Service.
Well, with that, let's take a look at our financial report and see how markets performed today.
Bank, it can be.
Welcome back. You're still with the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV, and now for our sports news. Dr. Zabenguni Mkhacho, who is the country's regional anti-doping organization's representative, says local athletes are well informed and equipped on issues of doping following the country's first case that dates back in 2020. Mkhacho is urging all athletes to mind all energetic substances they consume. Mkhacho mentioned these following the ongoing suspension in Kenya, where more than 14 athletes this year have so far been suspended due to doping.
Kenya as a country has since the beginning of the year been hit by a series of doping cases, which has brought a number of athletes being suspended. For now, the total has risen to 15 athletes since the beginning of the year. The question remains, as a country, the Kingdom of Eswatini, that once had a case of doping, how well are our athletes informed when it comes to doping cases?
Can't say it's a red zone as yet, but of course, I mean, one case is one too many. Luckily, we still have just that one case in the country that has been confirmed, and we are trying by all means to make sure it remains that one that we had. We are educating, education. It's what we are trying to say, Goma athletes etu. But of course, you can't control supplements and energy drinks. Leyo industry laying controlegi, so you can't really ban people from taking things because it's just an industry on its own. But we are trying by all means to educate my athletes. Can they please stay away from such things, or if somebody takes those things, they must know what it contains.
The first ever case for the country came in March 2020 under the athlete Tanda Zazwane, who was suspended a period of 4 years. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msunera, Mbabane.
The angling national team continues to represent well in the ongoing Black Bass Fishing World Championships taking place in the United States of America in South Colombia. The tournament began on the 16th and will finish on the 22nd of this month. Out of over 50 countries that are taking part in the tournament, Eswatini is ranked 10th at the moment, while the United States of America, who is hosting the tournament, are ranked number 1. South Africa is ranked number 2 and number 1 in Africa. Eswatini is ranked number 2 in Africa. The championships are the 16th in the history of the fishing competition. Well, with that, we've hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. We shall now take a look at our news making headlines tonight. His Majesty King Eswatini III has extended appreciation to the President of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, and the people of Taiwan for Taiwan's contribution towards economic recovery initiatives that the Kingdom of Eswatini has undertaken. The Minister for Tourism and Environmental Affairs calls for everyone to play a role in the fight against climate change. And the Acting Minister for Natural Resources and Energy has officially handed over the completed Mbolonjeni potable water supply and sanitation scheme. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, that's all we had for you here at Eswatini TV. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.
And you came to me like a bird to the breeze, and we floated together for a while.
We are for every kind of smile and amazing savings. Like 2-liter Spa Extra Shelf Life milk for just $32.99 and Huggies Dry Comfort Nappy Pants Jumbo Pack for only $179.99. Spa, we are for smiles.